I knew a bunch of you like economics, money system, money value experts would start chiming in. I wondered where you little smarty smarts were. So how does it work? How does it work when you borrow money from other countries? Because it cannot strengthen the value of your specific dollar. That it's not allowed to work like that, which is good. Like, it shouldn't work like that. So Japan gives them money, that value went to them, which is why the Japanese dollar got so strong when it made no sense. They were pulling from United States strength without realizing it. Then they're in a national deficit of their own. When you have a negative as a country, you cannot have a value in your dollar. So what was going on? Boom! There you go. They were living off the last of the value of like forefather dollars and shit because a God was on earth. Otherwise, they would have collapsed and been worse than a Great Depression back then. But they could live on the value of all value of dollars ever through history because there was a God present. But just like everything that you do against the value or the integrity or the power of God, it's a high price to pay when you finally have to pay the price for it, though. So because a God was on earth, it was kind of carrying value. And how does that work? When you have Jesus or God on the earth, it's going to put the dollar or turn the dollar into all that has ever existed. Why? Because when Jesus or I are on earth, that dollar has to kind of fight it out, good against bad all the way through. So the gods in the heavens will activate the dollar to be connected to all good or bad throughout time and history to kind of hash it out while the heavens are on earth. So it will carry your dollar more value than what you want carried. Because if you're in a negative, you want some force to force you to just get out of the negative. You don't want some weird fight between good and bad to carry the dollar in a way that looks like the dollar's being literally carried. No, it's being hashed out. So you're using old value of $1 billion old value dollars throughout history, and you're kind of like pulling every bad dollar value and trying to like live in the negatives with bad dollar value. And that's what the United States was actually doing. But the good value of dollar throughout time and history is kind of over carrying and showing how much the good dollar value could carry the negative bad value realities. That part was kind of cool because it shows that good people, the beautiful and the amazing and the strong of God's country, the true power of good among God's country, the value of God's country when it came to good people was a very, very strong wealth. It actually carried a negative when you should have no value in your dollar. But what are the consequences of these types of realities and messing around with dollar values and messing around with these kind of things? What is the real reality? What will it do? What will it bring? What did it become overall? What does all this mean? Well, this is why this is fun. You guys take my frown and turn it upside down. Because I get all pissy and grouchy and start threatening and yelling at shit I'm fine with. And then I always know beautiful, amazing people are going to do something amazing and kind of impressive and fun like this. And I was waiting. I knew that there are too many of you out there that are dollar giants and smarty smarts that have to figure out this dollar reality and all these type of things. Well, now to figure out this. How does that happen? Normally the dollar is only the value the dollar is forever, based on the ups and downs and the this or that. But you're right. What happens when you bring a God or a Jesus or a heaven in and have to hash that out along with the ups and downs of the dollar values and on and on and on. What would that mean? I'll give you a clue that might help you. Canada, when they were so wealthy, they didn't even know what to do with all the wealth.